Staying dry. My name is Blake. I'm a member of the customer success team, excuse me. We have a whole team of dedicated CSMs. Most of you probably know yours, but our job is to support you with everything Concord. It's to make sure you know how to use your account, make sure you know of all of our new features, help you get the most out of what you're paying for, really. So please do not hesitate to reach out and get in contact with your CSM if you don't know them, or just reach out and say hi if you haven't talked to yours in a while. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to support you, and we look forward to connecting with you. I see some people have already found the chat. Good day, morning, good afternoon. For those of you that haven't found the chat, I want to direct you there just to let you know that you can ask questions live. I'll answer them if I can. I'll answer them at some point if I if I don't like see them right away, or if I need to like, kind of skip past them, feel free, please go to the chat. I'm going to ask you a question now just to kind of get things going, let you know that it is here, it is available. We're talking all about integrations today. So integrating Concord with systems that you already use. So if you don't mind, go to the chat, uh, put maybe put your name if you want for where you're from. But what I want to know, go to the chat and tell me, other than Concord, what system do you spend most of your time in your day? That could be Outlook, it could be Excel, it could be an ERP or what system do you guys use most in your day-to-day work? What platform? We're looking at not only um, improving on the integrations that we have here, but we're looking at also improving and adding more. And so this actually is not just a opportunity to get the chat going, but truly it's an opportunity for us to do a little research. What do you guys use? What systems do you guys use in your day-to-day life? Go ahead and go to the chat. I put Slack. We have an ERP system, SAP. I've heard of it. I am aware of it. Some communications there. Awesome. It's helpful. It's helpful. So we're going to be talking about some of our integrations. We're going to end with one that's really cool. It adds a lot of cool opportunities, and we actually have a customer who's using it is going to talk about it. Welcome, Nikos. Looking forward to having you. I'm going to get started here just in maybe 1 minute here and just kind of talk about some native integrations that we have, and then kick it off to you when we get to talking about Zapier. So thanks everybody for your time. I'm going to get started. I see you guys continuing to talk about those platforms. Please keep sending them. It helps us know kind of what should we build next. And again, if you have any questions, go there, jump in and let me know. So, all right, let's talk about our agenda for today. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to just talk about our most popular integrations. And so when I say integrations, what I mean are things that we have built that Concord will connect directly to. So things that you can connect with your services, your platform, that will make your day-to-day life easier. We acknowledge that it's not always easy or quick to jump between systems. And if we can integrate the systems and combine them, then we can make your day-to-day lives easier. And so what we'll first start out with are our CRM integrations, HubSpot and Salesforce that we have. We'll talk a little bit about those. We'll talk about Google Drive, and then I'll hand it off to our guest, Nikos, and he'll talk about Zapier. And we'll even give a live demo. I'll actually probably live demo these as I'm talking about them. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to jump in. So if you guys use a CRM, specifically if you use HubSpot and Salesforce, these are some of my favorite integrations right here. So the idea with, if you're not aware of these platforms, is you have a place where you have all of your customer data, all of the important contacts, the important accounts, the important data on all of these people and companies and entities. They're all stored within your CRM. You also have like deals or opportunities or chances to earn money, right, and build your business and grow your business. They're also stored in here. And so how do you keep track of those opportunities? How do you keep track of the contacts and the accounts? That all happens within your CRM, like HubSpot or Salesforce. What's great and what happens a lot of times is these customers, these vendors are people that you have contracts with. And I really, really love the integration that direct integrations that we have with these two platforms. Um, because what you're able to do is you're able to create contracts directly from these platforms, have them associate with the accounts, with the companies, with those deals, and automatically sync data into those contracts. So you're not having to fill all these fields. It's all done automatically. If you guys have sales team on Concord, and you know they're using HubSpot, if you know they're using Salesforce, reach out to us. We can make your sales team's lives way easier if they're using the Salesforce or HubSpot integration. Um, Chances are you're probably already paying for it too. So you might as well use it. I know sales teams a lot of time they want their lives to be easier. Some of you guys might try to, you know, you might be in the process of convincing your sales team to all sync and use the same Concord system. Salesforce and HubSpot integrations are great ways to do that. So let me quickly, this is just a live demo, show you kind of the idea. So first I'm going to start with our HubSpot integration. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to create what we call an automated template. So this is just a quick purchase order. But when I hit edit, what you'll notice are some orange fields here. These are actually mapped to my HubSpot account. And so I have like the company name will auto-populate here, the street address, right? These are a lot of fields that are important to my contract. Without the integration, if I want to send a purchase order, I'm going to have to send this information out individually. But with the Salesforce and the HubSpot integrations, what I'm able to do directly from now we open HubSpot and I have this deal created, this opportunity to start a convention breakfast. I'm able to create a document directly from HubSpot, directly from Salesforce, and that information will sync automatically into it. So if I go to my purchase order and I share the document, I'm able to create it, have that information syncing I'm going to show you. But then in addition to that, I'm also able to go back into HubSpot. I'm able to see that contract. Concord will be your source of truth and your storage opportunity. Um, but also, information will sync back and forth to it. And so what will happen is a contract will be generated in Concord and it will show up in there. So while that's thinking a little bit, I also want to just kind of show you what it looks like in Salesforce. So if some of you know Salesforce and know kind of how Salesforce works, currently we're in an opportunity for this account Gene Point. And just to highlight kind of what it looks like right here, you see all of your Concord documents that are loaded up here on your opportunity. You can see whether or not they're canceled, whether or not they're in progress. It'll also show if they're signed. And I'm able to click open these opportunities. I'm able to click open these deals and get them going. Right. So we see it's loading here. We're just in my demo environment. Sometimes it's a little, there's a little delay, but we have customers right now that are using this live, using it on their accounts, and they're benefiting from it. So let me actually open up an example of what this looks like here. So if I generate a contract from HubSpot or Salesforce, if you notice earlier, those fields were blank. But after I generate it, it populates with the company name, populates with the company address and with the street and all this information and expands the graph. So you can see here the benefit directly, and it will show you, just like in Salesforce, all of those documents are over here. So we actually personally, yes, I see a question in here. Is this being recorded? It is being recorded. So if you signed up for this, it should be sent to you and it should be sent, you should receive it also. It should end up, I believe, on our website or on YouTube here in a second as well. So we love our CRM integrations. We use HubSpot. We use it, the integration. We love it. We believe in it. We think you should use it too. The Salesforce and the HubSpot integrations are very, very similar. If you have questions about them, reach out. If you want to integrate with them, reach out, let us know. Let's talk about the Google Drive integration next. So Concord, you have unlimited storage, unlimited documents, unlimited e-signatures. We're also housed on secure servers with all of the certifications and things, but we know sometimes some of you guys want a Google Drive integration, and that's totally great. So we have a direct integration with Google Drive. The way that it works is once a document is signed, it uploads into Google Drive. Once a document moves into the sign stage, it uploads into Google Drive. So it's pretty basic, pretty standard with just a a simple function. As it moves into the sign stage, it goes into Google Drive. You're also able to manually force documents into Google Drive and vice versa. You can actually manually force files from Google Drive individually into your Concord account. So it's pretty simple, pretty basic, but potentially powerful if you guys want to utilize that. So if you have any questions about it, reach out to us. Let us know. We're here to support you. I'm going to put our support email in the chat. Reaching out to this email will put you directly in contact with your customer success manager. Again, our job is to reach out to you, make sure the relationship is going well. But if you haven't heard from us, if you don't know who it is, maybe reach out to that email. We'll get in contact with you. So what we're going to go into next is we're going to talk about Zapier. If you guys aren't familiar with Zapier, it's time to learn about them because it's pretty dang cool. So Nikos, I'm going to call on you here in a second and maybe invite you to share your screen. But what Zapier does is it's almost an integration platform. It's a third-party platform that we go to Zapier and 5,000 other apps go to Zapier and we say, hey, we want to allow people the opportunity to integrate with our app. And here's some basic things that we can do. And what you can do is you can, through Zapier, connect with Google Forms. You can connect with Teams or with Slack or with Jira or different things, 5,000 different apps that you can connect with, and you can do some pretty cool things with. If you're paying for integrations, you're paying for this Zapier access. You may have to pay Zapier depending on the complexity that you have to do, but just having that ability to connect with 5,000 apps is pretty cool. So we have a very special guest here today. We have Nikos, who's going to jump on and tell us a little bit more about his company's Zapier integrations and what they do. Nikos, if you don't mind, would you be able to come off mute, share your screen, tell us a little about who you are, tell us about your company, and tell us about how you guys are using the Zapier integration.
Hello, everyone. Let me open my. Actually, it's quite dark here because I'm in Greece. Didn't expect to. Anyhow,
we're very appreciative that you're jumping on. It's is it 8 p.m. there right now? 6 p.m. Yeah. So thanks for jumping on so late to talk to us. Good afternoon or evening for you. So we appreciate you jumping on with us.
Yeah, we have. We're using Zapier for. We want to automate when we have a contract that is signed from the customer. We want to save this directly to our SharePoint, and let me just share my screen. If you can see it.
Yep, we can see it.
So practically now we are into a Zap, as we call it, where you can build custom, workflows, and Concord is one of the available software. There are plenty more. Zapier is also it is known as a kind of an IPaaS system, meaning it is an integration program as a service. So it helps you connect two softwares together, or even create all the connections to if you have an API on your side, you can use Zapier to connect it with another custom system or another software that is not supported on the list. So Concord is in the list. So here we see a simple Zap, as they call it, and we have the following options. We are using this. So when a system, when a document is signed on the Concord side, we're connected to it. There's nothing else to set up actually here, just only the action of what you want to do. And then the next part, we are connected with the SharePoint from Microsoft, and there are a series of things that you can do on the SharePoint. On our the correct action here is to upload the file, meaning upload the file to SharePoint. So yeah, you connect, you log into your MS365 account, and then you select to which SharePoint of your if I mean, I guess your companies might support multiple SharePoints. Ours does. So I have created a specific SharePoint where we do that, and you select the file name, if it's overwrite or not, and there are custom options here. I mean, you can select a lot of information that are included from Concord.
Yep.
Like, for example, a custom folder name, or the name of the file, or whatever.
Right.
And it will create a new file. Okay. So that is a Zapier, and
Excellent. So yeah, so that was very helpful. So this is an example, like if you said, we use Microsoft and products, and we want to integrate. Like, first off, I would like to say that's a common one. But what I love here, and that Nikos highlighted really well, especially like we're working on basic triggers here. So as he was clicked on the Concord side, there was like 4 triggers there. He's choosing the fully signed, and then it goes into SharePoint, and it uploads into the places that you like. So Nikos, thank you so much for kind of showing us that use case that you have. Yeah, I think it highlights well kind of what we're working with Zapier, since we have to try to make it apply to 5,000 plus apps. You're looking at some, I would say, basic connections. So like document fully signed, document created off of a template, things like that, a document fully approved, right? Those are those triggers that then would send it into that second step. The cool thing with Zapier is, as he was just highlighting there at the very end, he started with a 2-step Zap, but you can even make it 3 steps or 4 steps, and you can make a chain of integrations with starting with Concord or ending with Concord, or at any point in between. You can make a multiple layered Zap. So I see some questions in the chat that kind of came up. So let me cover these questions. So one of them is Zapier free or a separate subscription? So from the Concord side, in order to integrate with Zapier, you just need to be on the pro or business level subscription. That's second tier. If you don't know where you're at, reach out to us. We can help you. But in order to access Concord and integrate it, you just need to be on those plans. The majority of you probably have access from the Concord perspective. Now, Zapier itself, in order to use Zapier service, it's not necessarily free. They do have a standard free plan that I believe allows you to like make maybe 5 Zaps. Those are just those like Concord to SharePoint. You can make 5 connections like that, and then I think you have like 20 actions. It's worth exploring. If you'd like to explore together with your CSM, we can tell you, hey, this sort of action, looking at Zapier's plans, would require you to maybe pay this much. We'd be happy to tell you, but Zapier itself is not free, but access to it is most likely included on your Concord account. I had another question in here. Can you build in automation for files, or do you have to make these selections each time? So what Nikos was showing you, what he was basically building, was the automation. And so basically each time a contract would be signed, it would go through that automation and be put in the correct place on SharePoint. So it's pretty cool. Other things that I've helped customers do is create, actually here, I'm actually going to read this last question here because you do say it well. So basically, Zapier provides a canned integration solution between 2 dissimilar apps. I think that's a great way to put it. So for example, I've helped a customer build a Jira integration with Concord, where when a document is created from a template, it submits a ticket on your Jira system. I've helped another customer create a Google Forms integration where if a form was generated, or if, excuse me, if a Google Forms was submitted, then it would create a draft off of a template. It's pretty cool. And I can actually, why don't I actually show you guys here in a second, but I have another question. It says, is the access through Concord, will that allow us to try and use Zapier? The access is through, yes, if I'm understanding your question right, yes, or actually, no, the access is through Zapier. So you're going to have to create an account on Zapier. But let me kind of show you, in addition, one that I've created. So similar to Nikos, I have a two-step Zapier where it started with Concord, and then went to SharePoint. What I have here is like, for example, a Google form integration, and then it goes into Concord. And so I've created this Zapier test form where somebody fills out the document title, and then they fill out their first and last name and maybe their phone number. So stuff that will go, and I'll utilize my Google Forms normally. This will go into a normal spreadsheet and place for me to record on Google. But what's cool is because I have this integration where when a new form is created, it will then create a template from a document in Concord, this Zapier integration Concord template. So if I were to go here and choose, I think I already have a webinar, so we're going to keep the misspell, and I'm going to choose Blake Thomas, and I'm going to type in my phone number. Once I submit this form, because of the Zapier integration, it will then create a document. It takes a second to load, but it will create a document here on Concord. So it's pretty cool, and it will even fill out some fields. So if you guys are utilizing, maybe if you're a contract officer, you're using Concord for your Google Forms for creating your document request, this could be a cool application for you. So while this loads, I have another question. Do these integrations require a separate Concord seat? Or which license is kicking off the integrated action? That is a good question. You'll just need, it will need a license. It will need a license, but like you, I know, for example, hire a licensed user on your account, so you'll associate it with your seat. So if you want to create it with multiple people, if multiple people want to set up their own integration and their own actions, each person would have to be a seat holder. I hope that makes sense. Let me put it in a Salesforce context. Let's say you want your whole sales team to be able to be on HubSpot, and you want them all to be able to generate contracts and open up contracts. You'll have to have a seat for a paid seat on Concord for all of those people that you want to use the integration and generate contracts. So I hope that answered it. That general use and explanation will apply to all of our integrations, including Zapier and Google Drive and things like that. So here I want to highlight here that the document was created. And so we see some fields filled here. Blake Thomas, we see that. The phone number, I just need it for my personal log, so I didn't create a document for it. But my misspell is there. My fields that I filled out were here. So I'm able to map it to my Zapier integration. So there's some pretty cool things. I have another question here. So we could have our templates filled out, dump into Concord, and then send out for signatures. That is correct. Yes, you can. So the idea is you can do that with HubSpot, you can do that with Salesforce, you can do it with Zapier. Zapier is a more basic solution because it's a wide array of things, but you can absolutely do that. All right. Are they seat licenses? I'm assuming this goes back to my other question. Yes, so they are. So if you want people to be using, individuals to be using, creating documents, they will have to have individual seat licenses. I'm thinking more like an Adobe web form that creates a hyperlink that can be used over and over again. It creates a separate agreement. Absolutely. Is this something that can be done under my single license? It should be, yes. You should be able to do that, assuming that Adobe web form is something that we integrate with here. But I'm going to guess yes. Pretty cool. You can do some pretty neat things with Zapier, as Nico showed, and then as I'm highlighting here. Wonderful, guys. Wonderful. Anybody else have any questions? Those are the main integrations that we wanted to talk to you about. Actually, let's talk about how do you know if you even have integrations available for you, because they're not available on any plan. They start on our second tier. It's either if you're that pro plan on our old structure or the business plan, the new structure that we have. If you're an admin, actually, if you just want to know if you have it, come to this automations tab over here, open up this integrations tab right here, and you'll be able to see them here if you have them. So I can see them. I know that I have them on my account. You can go further if you're an administrator. Look in your settings, look in your subscription tab and find them. But just go into this tab is where you can find those integrations. They're pretty cool. And we want to build more. So thanks to those of you that came in the chat and told us about the systems that you use. We might even reach out if we have more questions, but we want to continue adding these things because we know that I feel like every week it almost seems like we have a new system that we have to start using. And ideally, we want to simplify our time. We don't want to do too much work. We don't want to replicate effort or duplicate effort. So we want to integrate our systems. We're hoping to try to provide that for you guys. So thanks for jumping in the chat. Does anybody else have any questions about anything integrations? Anything you want me to clarify, either for me or for our guest Nikos? Anybody have any questions for me? All righty. Well, with that being said, I want to have a couple last things I want to talk about. We appreciate your consistent attendance here. I see some similar faces, people that keep coming back. We hope they're valuable to you. We have more coming up. So we're going to talk about next week. We're going to talk about roles and teams. The following week, we're going to actually talk about negotiating using contract data. A little bit here. If you want to be an honored guest like Nikos, if you want to tell us about how you're using Concord, tell us about your company, we would love to have you. So reach out. If you guys are using roles and teams, if you think your use case is awesome, I know it. I know some of you out there, you have some awesome use cases. Reach out to us. We want to host you here. Same thing with negotiating using contract data. This is something that you can speak to. We would love to give you the opportunity to promote your brand, talk about yourselves, talk about how you use Concord. Please feel free to jump up and jump in and talk with us. All righty. If you want to learn more about integrations and you don't know who your CSM, feel free to reach out to us, support@concord.app, or even easier, click this link. You can do it right now. You can go find it, talk to us. We want to tell you more about how you can streamline your use case, make your lives easier, and integrate with more of your systems. So, or if you have feedback, you have systems that you use that you want to see us integrate with us, reach out. This is a conversation we're having right now internally. We're talking about how can we build things that our customers would benefit from. We need your feedback. We need to know what's beneficial to you guys. So thank you guys, as always, for your time. Thank you for your questions and participations in the chat. I can't tell you how much it means that I'm not just talking here to myself. So yeah, thank you all for your time. We really appreciate it. Hope you have a great Friday Eve and a good rest of your week. Thanks, y'all.